Okay. It is late, and this is weird because right now I'm like recovering, right? Like I had like a triggered moment because I'm overtired, and my little inner child recognizes that she's being fucking loved with compassion, but that the ego, that the trauma is being Marie Kondoed out this week, and so things are coming up. And I'm not ready to talk anymore about that, but I'm here. However, here I am. I am here just to remind myself, to remind you that the lessons, the things that we talk about, the things that we bookmark that make sense, the books that we read that click, that the ways that we heal, where we feel different and we feel like we're evolving, that is so good. And there are so many great days in that. But also, there are a lot of tears. There are so many more tears in healing than I thought that there were going to be. My doctor healer gal told me a few months ago that when she tried to feel into what was going on, she just felt intense sadness, just like a very sad woman. And I thought of myself as a lot of things, but I did not think of myself as very deeply sad. And in this healing journey, I have found deep sadness. But the thing is that it's not sadness that's resonant with my present day life. It's compartmentalized, unprocessed sadness from a little girl, from a rejected teenager, from a child of divorce, from the fumbly, shitty lessons that shape us into the fabulous fucking human beings that we are. I didn't know how to move through my emotions then. I didn't know how to release. I didn't know what book to read. And I did my best to sustain. And now, as I am committed to thriving, to feeling joy, I really am having to look everywhere with it. And in these tendencies of people pleasing, and in these tendencies of no boundaries and all these things, they lead you to those places where that was planted, where that adaptive skill had to evolve. And it's likely a well-repressed place. You learned it and you stuffed it and you moved on and you tried your best not to feel that way anymore, but somehow still created pain patterns in your life to ensure that you did feel that way. But we don't have to feel that way. So even though sometimes I feel unhinged or I feel so frustrated because I'm going to show up and teach a yoga class tomorrow on empowerment and connection to self, and I'm going to mean every word that I say, but I'm also going to know that tonight I didn't feel empowered or connected to myself. Tonight I felt triggered and I felt tired and I felt so sad, and I felt a disconnect from my rational mind. Like my rational mind knew that I was existing in a place of love and that there was no need to fear, to fret, to cry, to lash out, to whatever. But sometimes shit happens. And so what's happening now is that I'm able to spin through it quicker and learn through it quicker. But I came outside to release the anxiety in my body, and I just put my headphones on and started dancing and crying and recognizing that I couldn't find the solution. There was nothing that John was going to be able to say, or no amount of tissues I was going to be able to use that were going to coax me into comfort. I needed to connect with myself. I needed to let that shit move. And so when I allowed myself to breathe in this air, to dance, to move my body, to connect to the music, to be submerged in my headphones, like those are things that connect me back to myself and let it move. We talk about this in yoga all the time, comfortably uncomfortable, breathing into the posture, not holding things in, letting them move, sending the love, the compassion, the breath to the space where the tension, the shitty exists, and letting it move, showering it with love, with oxygen, with intention. And so I'm letting it move. And I'm letting it move out loud so that I remember the process, and so that if any one of you is like romanticizing the healing journey, or thinks that I am, or thinks that anyone romanticizes the healing journey and leaves out the parts where I'm laying on the concrete at like midnight, just finally feeling still enough to get back into bed. Like, cleaning out your soul is messy as hell. But honestly, maintaining a messy, anxious, stressed out soul is so taxing. So even though this is exhausting and sloppy and maybe unpopular by way of people who were attached to the way I existed in my old life, this is essential for my survival. And releasing, letting this heaviness, this past, this pain move is letting me move through the world lighter. It's connecting me to my brain once again. It's lighting that fire that's always been within, but has just been buried under shit that wasn't mine to begin with. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. I'm learning to share my voice and recognize that it matters. And that means that your voice also matters. I keep thinking of this lyric from Rising Appalachia. The song is Resilient, I highly recommend. And the lyric is, my voice feels tiny, I'm sure so does yours. Put us all together, make a mighty roar. And then they howl so beautifully, which I have still not quite mastered. But I will get there. Sending you love wherever you are. Sending love back to myself. Honor your light. Good night.